Right now,
Sure.
the virus, it's shooting fish in a barrel because nobody's immune. The majority of people's immune systems do not have awareness of the virus and can't respond in a way to fend it off.
But you also produce T cells too when you get this virus or when you're exposed to people
Ultimately down the road,
who get the
yeah.
virus. So there could be a possibility that this vaccine's not even going to be distributed until at least probably like around January or something. Because just because they
It's not far off.
right, but like just because Pfizer released this vaccine that has 90%. That looks like it's 90%. That looks
and
like
it
it's
was just
90%.
the corporate statement, not the
yeah.
scientific review yet.
Yeah,
but it is looking very promising.
Okay, so just because of that, right, it doesn't mean that people are going to be starting to get vaccinated right off the bat. It's probably going to start getting distributed by January, February, March, right?
I think they're ready. I mean, I believe the government is ready and in place that as soon as production is available, all these steps.
But people aren't going to start getting it till January, February, March. And
might happen faster.
Okay, but let's say it doesn't. Let's say it doesn't happen faster, right?
Okay.
And this virus is already propagating.
So we've got to get through the holidays.
Right, maybe, but also you're going to have a lot more people are going to get antibodies and get exposed to this virus within that time frame. So in order to actually achieve some kind of basic herd immunity where it gets under control, you might not need to vaccinate as many people to do that. Does that make sense?
Sort of, yes, but the idea of herd immunity kind of got turned around when we talk about herd immunity. That's actually a term that's used to describe effects of vaccinating versus viral exposure itself. And so when we talk about herd immunity, what we're saying is there's a certain threshold that needs to be reached so that the virus can't jump from next carrier to next carrier to next carrier. And we don't really have good data on, as a virus comes up through an unimmunized herd, what's the threshold?
Nobody
we
knows.
have that data on vaccines. So we don't know. Again, you're in uncharted waters. We don't know. There's a lot of theories. There's a lot of speculations. Could it be 25%? Would that be enough? Could it be 50%? Would that be enough? Does it need to be 85 to 90%?
Because I think enough people are probably going to take that vaccine voluntarily where
I'm
they're
ready.
going to... No, yeah. Like, I think enough people... I'm not taking that, right? But I think
Okay,
enough...
so we're 50-50.
Right. But I think enough people will probably take that vaccine voluntarily where you're probably going to... It'll probably just be a voluntary thing where it's not going to get forced on people. That's my...
I don't think you can. I don't think you can force it unless there's certain job functions. I mean, for my employment, right, it is. You have to have a medical reason why you wouldn't take the flu vaccine annually. If you're
I've
gonna
never
be in
taken a
certain
flu
areas.
shot, and I never
a
want.
lot of people haven't.
I don't want to take a flu shot. I don't trust it. But anyway, like
I
that's
think
not.
I'm taking you down in jiu-jitsu if you're not in a pain.
All right, no, but what Hey, but what I'm saying is though, like, look, I substitute teach like in like Hayes County or whatnot, right? I don't want to have to be forced to take a vaccine in order to like be a teacher, right? And for me giving rides, I don't want to have to be forced to get a vaccine
Right.
to have a chauffeur permit. Like, I don't want that. That's like an infringement on my rights, you know. And I don't ever want that to be the case. But I do think that people should there should be a plan to widely distribute it to anybody who
Yes.
wants to take
And
it.
that's in place. So the government at the federal level has already been working on how they're going to distribute out the vaccine to different areas, and it also depends on we have a number of different vaccines that are showing good promise. So some of them require certain technological specifications to be able to be transported
got one more question.
and kept, and then some of them that are coming down may not require as rigorous. So that's going to change how we're able to get this available widespread.
All right, Dr. Jen, I got one more question too.
Okay.
Because you're talking about how long do antibodies last, you know, if you get the virus, right? But then how long is the vaccine effective, and how many, like, if this vaccine becomes a thing where it's the only way to control this virus, how many booster shots are you going to have to need to you know, not spread the virus, right? Because if I have to get if people have to get like 3 shots a year or even 1 shot a year or whatever, that's not something that people are going to want to consent to or be okay with. I would rather get COVID than have to deal with that.
But we know that even if you get COVID, your antibodies wane off. You potentially could get
Exactly.
it again.
Then so what's the difference? Then if there's no, then how is there any discernible difference between having had the virus and just getting the vaccine in terms of your immunity from a prolonged period of time?
Risk of morbid complications and death.